This is part 100 of ASP.NET MVC tutorial. In this video, we'll discuss what if CDN is down. This is continuation to part 99, so please watch part 99 before proceeding. There are several benefits of referencing a resource from a CDN. We discussed all these benefits in the previous session of this video series. Keep in mind, a CDS is still an external resource and beyond our control. So what if CDN is down? What's going to happen to your application? Now at the moment, our application is relying on jQuery from jQuery CDN. At the moment, jQuery CDN is up and running, so our application is working as expected. Now let's assume jQuery CDN is down, and to simulate that, let's actually disconnect from the internet. So I'm going to disconnect from the internet, and then let's reload this view. So at the moment I'm not connected to internet, so obviously this script should fail loading. And look at this, when I enter number 4 and click submit, okay, the application is still working. That's because the previous time when we have visited the website, the jQuery file is downloaded and it is cached. So at the moment the browser is using that cached version. So let's delete the browser history so that the jQuery file is deleted from the cache. And let's actually reload this now. And let's enter a number, click submit, and look at that, it doesn't work as expected. Look at this. Let me actually press F12. So at the moment I'm using Google Chrome. When you press F12, we get developer tools, and look at this. Within developer tools, click console tab, and look at this, code.jquery.com, and this version of the jQuery file failed to load resource. And since jQuery file failed to load the resource, dollar is not defined. So we have two errors and our application is not working. So if CDN is down and if you're loading a resource from a CDN, your application is not going to work the way you expect it to work. Okay, so we need a mechanism in place to fall back to use a local copy of our jQuery file in case if CDN is down. And to achieve that, all you need to do is check a property of the window object jQuery. If jQuery is downloaded, then that property will be true. If that is not true, then we are going to write the script tag onto our page. Okay, so we are dynamically writing the script tag, and if you look at the script tag, it's very straightforward. So we are setting script source equals the path for your jQuery file that's present on your web server. And then if you look at here, for the closing script tag, instead of using an angular bracket there, we are using this hexadecimal character \x3c. So \x3c is a hexadecimal representation for less than symbol. Let's actually look at that in action. So here is that code. So let me copy that and then paste that right here. Now look at this. Here we are using hexadecimal code instead of angular bracket. You may be thinking why? Because if I use this less than symbol there, the angular bracket, look at that, that is treated as a closing script tag. We don't want that to happen. We want this expression to be evaluated, this line to be written at runtime dynamically depending the value of this property. Okay, so since we don't want to treat that as a closing script tag during design time, we are going to use that hexadecimal character. Okay, so now let's go ahead and run this. So we are still disconnected from the internet. So now the application should work. So let's enter a number, click submit. Look at that, the application still doesn't work. Let's determine why. So press F12, it's going to get us the developer tools, and on the console tab, look at this, it still says fail to load this resource, and that's fine because we are not connected to the internet. So CDN is down, and it still says dollar is not defined. That's basically because, look at this, we need to have this script tag immediately after this script tag because we failed to download jQuery from CDN. So try to download, use the local version of the jQuery file. Okay, the reason why our application is still not working is because, look at this, we had this code right here. So this custom JavaScript is making use of the jQuery library, okay, and we are loading our jQuery after our custom JavaScript, and that's the reason why it's not working. We need to have this before we actually use the jQuery library. So now when we run this, let's press Ctrl F5 and let's actually press F12 and look at the console window. We only have one error, failed to load resource. That is, we failed to load the jQuery file from the jQuery CDN. That's fine, that's expected. But now our application should continue to work. So click submit. Look at that, number is even, and if I enter an odd number, it still has to work. Okay, now let's actually go back and turn on the internet connection. Okay, so now when we run this application, since the CDN is up, we have the internet connectivity up, so our application should be able to connect to the CDN and download the required jQuery files. Now when I press F12, we shouldn't have any errors within the console. So this proves that at the moment our application is using the jQuery library from the jQuery CDN and not the local version. So a very simple trick to fall back to use the local resource when CDN is down. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.